Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is ToastBH and I'm here with Flambeau for the Brawl to the Future. That's right, we went back to the past so that we could fight back to the future. This is a 2v2 tournament. EU, we're in Europe today and we got a lot of phenomenal games coming your way. Today, the way this works, this whole weekend works, today we've got up until top 8 and then tomorrow we finish out that top 8 as a whole set of best of 5s. Gonna be a really good good time today, and yeah, I'm really excited. It's been a while since I've casted an online event. Flambeau, how you been doing? How you doing today?
Viper I see in there as well, Cetero, Precious Marie. So we're going to have a good bracket. Now, granted, how much of those players we're going to be able to get to see today is yet to be determined, but we will definitely be seeing some of those names in the top 8 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Oh man, I'm wicked excited for this. Now I'm not sure who we got coming in first. Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. I'd love to know.
Yeah, they'll let us know in a moment. They'll let us know.
Yeah, in some time, right? I guess that's how these things always pan out. Of course, I feel like it's also been a minute. Maybe I've just been out of the loop, but I feel like outside of the Friday night brawls and whatnot, I don't remember what the last like big Brawl League event was.
Well, Masters.
What? Oh yeah, right.
It would be Masters. Masters was the big one. So, right, you know, we did Masters, which was the month of August and the first weekend of September. Right after that, it was not us, but it was, of course, DreamHack Montreal.
Right.
And then we come here now from DreamHack Montreal to this event. And then following this, we go into October. In October, you have, I believe it's October 10th, is the Autumn Championships. Which is going to be, you know, it's the 4th seasonal event that BMG is hosting, which is going to be a huge event. That's so much respect for that weekend, right? Because what they do is they do 1v1 and 2v2 in the same day for each region. So like Saturday will be all of Europe, and then Sunday will be all of NA. Or maybe it's backwards. It's like they do all the 1v1s in one day and all the 2v2s in one day. And that's something that is kind of crazy. 20th to 21st.
Like
Thank you.
flashbacks.
I said the 10th. I don't know why I was thinking the 10th, but it is the 20th and 21st, which is going to be a phenomenal event. So if you haven't signed up for that, signups are open right now for those. Following that, though, there's some yet unreleased stuff which I can't talk about. I have a strict. They will come after me with like a baseball bat if I talk about it, so I won't. But following that, of course, in November, you do have BCX, you have the World Championship Expo, which is going to be an incredible event. Definitely be there if you can. I will be there 100%. It's good. It's good. Flambeau, you planning on attending or competing in any of these events?
I mean, BCX has been on my radar. DreamHack, I'm trying to talk to people. Boda refuses to answer my DMs on Twitter. He's seen zoned me twice now, but I see him active, so I'm like, all right, Boda, I see how it is, buddy. But no, I'll probably be there. I don't see why I wouldn't be. Got a lot of things going on. Not only is Brawlhalla featured, but there's a plethora of other games there as well. Should be a fun weekend. I don't know if I'll compete though. I know I'll get waxed. I played Coslicks in like pub 2v2s accidentally in matchmaking the other day and I got completely wiped, so probably not.
Our first team that we're coming in here, I'm with you, by the way. I don't compete because I'm the same way. I like this completely wax. Is that what people say these days? I've never heard that before. I'm like not hip with it anymore. Not that I ever was.
Maybe I'm just like an apparition, man. Maybe I'm the anomaly. You know?
You're plugged in, dude. I don't know. Like it feels like you know the words that people are saying.
That's like what we got. Addy Mystic and Kate coming in. So this is where I start like praying that I have like in-game tag display on for the 2v2 so I can call everyone correctly.
Remember,
But
you
I
can
should be
always
fine.
hold tab on your computer to show
You are right.
full names.
There
But
you
it
go.
is gonna be, like you said, Cake and Eddie Mestic here for our first set. Up against, not sure, but we're about to find out in a moment. We have one person in there. I'm gonna wait till their teammate is joined in to announce them.
Yeah, that person in there has quite the name.
Yep.
I mean, if you're about it, you're about it. If you're not, you're not. You know, he knows what he wants, knows what he likes. And then got Taki. Taki's great.
Yeah, so this
Never.
is gonna be a good match. So, out from kind of the coffee house team, there's just a quick name change happening here. We've got Taki and TBA, and they're a team I have never heard of before. You know, they're coming through. This is the winners bracket, I think, of one of the pools games. Of one of the pools, we got Cake and Eddie Mestic. Of course, you know them, you love them. They have the pedigree. They've been around for a long time. Cake and Eddie Mestic are one of those teams. It's like peanut butter and jelly, you know?
Yeah, they've definitely been at it from the jump. And ooh, okay. I thought we were gonna see the friend rejoin with the modified name, if you will, but we stay waiting.
Yeah. What's interesting here, Flambeau, is seeing the core pick out from Eddie Mestic, right? You have the gauntlets that are in there, but the hammer pick is something that I haven't seen. Well, Eddie Mestic does have a Bodvar. I bet everyone has a Bodvar, but you know, it's the core pick is something that I haven't seen too frequently from Eddie Mestic. So that's kind of an interesting choice coming out there that I am rather excited to see and to figure out what exactly is going to happen with.
Yeah, I do know that Core's Nutrisig on Twilight can do some really weird stuff when it interacts with the wedge on the right side. Core in general, kind of a legend you don't see super often. Does have a lot of base force and a lot of those signatures. Packs quite a punch, which I guess is what you'd expect from a literal rock, but doesn't really get the time of day in the competitive scene all that often. So I'm kind of happy to see him. Hopefully he stays around for the rest of the day as well. I feel like a lot of times you'll see players kind of pick their secondaries or tertiaries, and then as they get deeper into the bracket, they kind of decide to go back to their mains when they feel like they're in a spot where they may be threatened. So hopefully we get a good chunk of core gameplay today. Only time will tell. I'm excited about it.
Me as well. So out from the other side, you have Taki and Kiana. Kiana is the TBA person. Just a quick kind of little thing for you guys out there, just so you guys are aware. We will occasionally ask players to change their name if the name is not entirely, appropriate. And that's just all that happened right there. So we've got Kiana here. I love the clan coffee house just because that's just hipster enough to like tickle my fancy. It's even though it's like not even that hipster. It's like coffee hipster. You know, I lived in the Pacific Northwest for 4 years. I don't even drink coffee, and it's just, you know, out there they have coffee bars, Flambeau?
Coffee bars?
Yeah. So it's like, it's imagine like a coffee shop, like a cafe, but that has a focus and a specialty in coffee-based cocktails.
I never even thought I'd hear the word coffee and cocktails in the same sentence.
It's, I went to a barista competition one. Real talk. My roommate was competing in it, and she did well. It was like, who can create the best looking, espresso latte thing possible?
Well, where they like draw on the little like foam stuff?
Yeah, where they draw on the foam. And it was really cool. It was a cool thing to see. We are getting right on into to the game here as our players are locking in. As we said, we got that core out from Eddie Mestic, Cake rocking the Koji. We got Val out from Taki, and we have from Anais? Hashtag oof. Hashtag oof.
Yeah, Anais? I'm gonna say Anais. Anais. Hashtag oof. Hashtag oof. Who knows? But I feel like the rest of the legend picks across the board are fairly standard. Nothing too crazy that you don't see every day there. Val and Asuri, of course, are pretty common picks, and Koji is always a legend for when he's good, and that never changes.
Yeah. Come in and right away, we see kind of an early weapon pickup from both of the team members from the red team. Addy Messi getting in there with some of those gauntlets. You've got Taki getting hit a little bit by Cake's bow. I love his positioning right away off the bat. Cake and Addy Messick not afraid to kind of get close to each other and use each other as support right at the right at the top of the game.
Yeah, they're really able to stay in each other's space, and they aren't. A lot of times you'll see with less experienced teams that they're always a little afraid of stepping on each other's toes, right? Now, granted, as you said before, you guys are like peanut butter and jelly, so we're not going to see that often. There we go, another down sig coming up from Cake to send the opponent flying there. It's going to be Taki trying to get back, and in that time, they're able to kill his partner. And Taki just takes a dip as well, so Addy Messick and Cake going up, which isn't much of a surprise at all, but just some good textbook teams play being played.
Early double KO is going to be great for Addy Messick and Cake. They have a very strong lead from it. Although they are both kind of very close to getting KO'd, and a little bit of team damage is not going to help. But if you look at the movement and just the positioning from Addy and Cake, it is set. Anai is going to maybe be able to get back here. Has a dodge, does get back. Addy Messick goes low, gets caught up by the ground pound from Taki. Taki gets a double KO right there. It's very odd to see so many double KOs, 2 double KOs this early into a game.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh my god, there we go. Another ground pound. That's going to be another kill. We did see Addy Messick kind of abandon his edge guard on Anays, if you will, to try and see if they can set up the 2v1 edge guard and try to kill one of them. Both ended up dying for that, so it didn't quite pan out in the grand scheme of things. But they still have quite the hefty lead. Damage racking up. Taki almost getting one off the top there, but Shipwreck doing wonders.
Taki comes up around the right side, getting the wall touch. Cake going in, gets caught up by the signature from Anais. Addy Messick hopping up, gets a nice side air. Meanwhile, you see Cake get KO onto Taki. On the left side, Cake holding down there.
D-Lights here, tried and true. Gonna go ahead and try to regain that center stage. Blue team looking a little hurt. We're gonna see more down six coming out of Asuri. That is Anais for you, doing what Asuris are good at. Tries to get a quick imp there with a gravity cancel neutral sig. Doesn't quite find it though. And now it's gonna be all up to Taki to hold it down against the 3 stocks of the red team. This is probably where we call it curtains, but we have seen crazier things happen in the world of Brawlhalla. Not often, but they can happen.
It's true. Against a team with the pedigree of Addy and Cake, I think it's going to be tough. Although there is a little bit of a self, an SD, a Z, if you will, onto Cake as he does fall on that left side. Addy Messick does go in for the gravity cancel. They're trying to style, and Cake does get the style KO with the slide signature off. And that's going to be game 1.
Yeah, nothing too crazy there. Taki and Anais actually did a pretty good job. We're going to see the legend switch from Taki onto that Wu Shang now, the angry version, if you will. And as you were talking about before, right? You said Addy Messick sometimes whips out the Bodvar, and now we're seeing both Addy Messick and Cake whipping out everyone's favorite Viking.
Yeah, the double Bodvar is kind of a little bit of a scary choice. And the, the swap from the blue team is interesting too. You've got Wushang and Burn. Both of these legends have Spear. You've also got Axe there, which, it's still a pretty strong weapon, I think. It's an interesting swap.
Definitely, I've seen a lot of, I'll say, top players, some of the top percentages of the players here on Twitter talking about how Spear currently in the meta is just one of the strongest weapons you can have on any kit. Just covers a lot of options. It's very quick, it's disjointed, it can really get the job done, especially when combined with another weapon that covers any flaws it may have. Just find yourself in a good spot. And Bryn, definitely one of those better legends with that axe combo to kind of make up for the lack of force with a hard, chunky hitting weapon.
Oh yeah. Interesting to see the double Bodvar. Doing some good work. I mean, we've got even damage across the board. A little bit more damage onto the blue team, as you might expect from that last game. Cake does get caught out, and the first strike gonna go to Taki. And Addy Messick down low here. Will he be able to recover? Yes, comes around to the left side, does pick up the hammer, goes in for a side air, avoids it. Taki coming in, going again for that KO. Again with the gauntlets and side air from Addy Messick just to get Taki out of the way. There's 1, there's 2, and that's the double KO that we've been seeing all day so far.
Yeah, I just really like how Cake and Addy Mestic decide to pick one person they want to make sure they kill instead of each trying to get their own respective edge guards. It's just a lot easier to cover all the options of someone with two people. Oh my goodness, on both sides. That's one. On the right side, can go down. Left side, looks like we're going to be good here for a little while longer. Cake chilling on the stage.
Recovery's coming out from that spear from Anais. Anais coming in with the weapon throw. Cake down on the right side, saving Addy Messick just a little bit. I think it was more like this is the only way I can recover, and Addy Messick was like, I'll take the damage. It's good. A lot of signatures coming out from both team members. The blue team throwing them out especially, but they're hitting, they're connecting. So if you're throwing out signatures and you're not getting punished, why not? Addy Messick with a nice follow-through KO on that right side, though. Gonna come through. Taki getting stomped, side aired with that hammer, the coach pitch, out of that ground pound. And now this double hammer is coming out. Just so much damage is being done. He drops the ground pound.
All right, he's staying alive in here. Taki gonna find out Sayer, but right after he does so, Addy Mestic is there with the retaliation. So we're getting it down to the wire here now. Everyone on their final stocks. Anais is pretty hurt though. Has to run away as long as he can from Cake, but he's just hunting Addy Mestic now, also on the prowl. Naze finally manages to find his way through, gets hit off the left side of the stage now, and as he's coming back, Taki is trying to take the brunt of all the aggression.
Here you see red team Addy Messick and Cake kind of hold this neutral ground. Got that platform, keeping the opponents in the air. Anais staying low, gets caught out as they try and recover up top, gets KO'd to their last stock off the left side, and now is double hammer into the wedge. They're just throwing at the 6. They're styling. They're just having a little bit of fun right now, Addy and Cake. And there's the side air. Not going to confirm the KO. Cake with the weapon throw, and that should do it with another weapon throw.
Yeah.
Which goes to the Stevenator, gets caught up by the scoop, but that is game 2. Addy Mestic and Cake are you winners, and will advance on in this set. Oh, in the bracket, rather.
There you go. Not a huge surprise, but I do think Taki and Anais gave them a pretty competitive set there. I feel like a lot of people watching this at home may not have thought that it would be that close, just considering the how revered Cake and Addy Mestic are as a team. But those were last stock games. Granted, we had some shenanigans with the legend picks and whatnot, but they were very much so skilled players that I'd like to see again in the future. Just, I don't know, closing games out can be exceptionally hard, especially against Bodvar. We're seeing them throw out that side sig a lot toward the end with the hammer. And granted, sig spamming not always the best strategy, but Bodvar's side signature is one of his best signatures. It's very deceptively fast and hard, if not impossible to react to. So
yeah,
have 2 of those going left and right, and, you know, somebody's gonna get hit.
That's kind of what happens. You know, it is occasionally that's what happens. And I think in that situation, when you have the comfortable stance with the double Bodvar, and you have control of the match, you can have fun with it. And that's what I think Addy and Cake were doing there. You know, like you said, though, props to Ayaz and Taki, because they did get a good number of stocks off, and they did bring it down to a final stock for both players in both games, which is guarantee you. I mean, that's not something I could do. But we are coming in here shortly into our next match, and we do have what's looking like Ariel and Viper. Kind of a team that's been around for a while. They play well together. They place well together. They have a team with a lot of good chemistry together. And I'm excited to be seeing these guys out here. Ariel and Viper played before. They played for a while before Viper teamed up with Agzo, I think.
Yeah. I haven't seen Agzo in a minute. What's the word with Agzo?
He did pretty well at DreamHack Montreal.
Okay, because I did catch.
You missed out with Montreal, man. It was a good time.
It looked fun. I saw like Koslix's vlog of the event. It seemed like people had more or less a good time. And of course, Boomy is being Boomy. So you got some good stuff going on. I actually really like how the upper echelon of the ranked Brawlhalla scene not even that necessarily upper echelon, just the rank Brawlhalla scene in general. It seems to be a pretty tight knit community, but with the lands and how more frequent they are, people are like really starting to like get a idea of how each other are and becoming like real friends, and it's kind of heartwarming.
It's really cool. It's something that I think for a game that was primarily online and has been getting more and more offline events each year, I think it's really cool to see exactly what you're talking about. And I can't speak that much to it because I've only been around for, you know, like a year and a half realistically, and I've only been to 3 lands, but each time I go, it's like, it's cool. You're there for 3 days, but it's the camp effect. Every time right? It's like each day, what is it? You know, each day goes like that. The week feels like a day, but each day feels like a week. Is that it, right? So like each day you do so much and it feels like it's super long and you've done so much, but it's like just a day. So it feels like you've done a lot, and then it's over and you're like, wow, it's over.
By the end of the weekend, you feel like you've come up on so many different experiences that, you know, you end up leaving feeling fulfilled. Also, you get some of that like post-land depression. But till the next one, right?
Also, you know, post-land plague for a lot of people too.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
But we do have our teams in here. We do have teams locked in. So from Innovation, we have Lil Fox, who is a known Scarlet player. So I'm expecting that's what we're going to be seeing from Lil Fox. On the other side, their teammate is Zeus, which is Zeus with an S and then a Z. I like that. Locking into the Usuri. Like we said, we talked about before, we got Ariel and Viper rocking Sentinel and Ragnar. And this is something you'll see from Ariel. Ariel likes Sentinel. Ariel is very comfortable with Sentinel. And you don't see Sentinels super often in tournament play. And that's so cool. I love Sentinel's kit. The down signature with the guitars where you spray lightning all over the place. It's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, Mr. Static Shock himself comes with the... He brings the static. He's electrifying, right? He comes in with these quick hits. Even when he's using the hammer, a lot of his signatures kind of hit you with that whoa factor. That side signature comes out deceptively fast. That neutral signature, you may as well think it's just like a standard normal move with how quick it is. And such a strong anti-air as well. Unfortunately, maybe I actually don't know why he's not more of a common pick. Definitely, you know, that hammer Qatar is by no mean a bad combination of weapons. You have your light weapons to kind of build up and rack up damage, and you do have that hammer to kind of close out those KOs if need be. But it must be that people just didn't like the signatures as much as some of the other legends who rock some of the similar weapon archetypes. But he's cool. I like him, especially that side sig with guitars.
He's a good legend. I like his design a lot. And you're like, he's just a guy. Right? Yeah. Like,
he's just a dude.
Coming in here, we are spawning in momentarily onto Small Mammoth.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go, 3, 2, 1, Brawl. It's always interesting to see who gets that first weapon pick. We do have it out from Zeus and Viper on the other side. Just getting a little bit of damage, chip damage off from the neutral on arms from his opponent. Ariel picking up the guitars, hanging out here, dodges through Lil Fox. Lil Fox is playing Scarlet.
Yeah, and I'm watching Viper here with this axe play, and he's doing something that I have been seeing more and more people do as of late. The first time I saw it happen was when Tiffany did it at whatever tournament, however many months ago. But they've been using the axe ground pound a lot more after the nair to cover as many dodge options as possible and leads to a lot of damage. And also just, it hurts. like you know, flying, it sucks when you get hit by it, but it's one of the few things that axe actually has to keep it beautiful.
I love beautiful edge guard. I don't know if you saw that from Ariel. Caught out that recovery on the lance with the down air. Getting that angle right is great because if you do it right, you just deny all of the recovery options from that weapon. Well, in the meantime, you do see a kind of a quick turnaround there. Both of the blue team members getting the red team out onto the left and right side respectively, but not really gonna destroy them. Although the ground pound from Zeus, pretty well placed to pick up the first KO for the blue team onto Viper.
Go another recovery gonna come out. Stomps there. Viper
Oh.
doing a perfect toss to Aerial to close that out. They're gonna find themselves another double KO today. That was beautifully executed. They're gonna see the blue team immediately runs to try and regain center stage. They're losing their individual 1v1. See Aerial extending his damage. Looks like he's finally gonna go down, but Viper can just wait. Oh no.
Viper taking all of the advantage they can. He sees the opponent. He sees that little fox, little damage to Zeus, and Viper got in there and got a side air. That's immediately what you need, what you need to do. Great recovery from Viper. Gonna push Zeus out. Zeus is done. This is now a very strong situation for the red team. Stronger than it was before. This is a 4-stock advantage. 3 stocks up over little stocks 1 stock. That ground pound gonna get punished with the weapon throw. Nice pickup with that axe throw. Into the ground pound, gets caught up by the recovery. Viper does have the recovery he needed to get it, and would have gotten the chase dodge from it if he didn't. And that recovery, gonna do it with that down air. Little Fox cannot recover from that, and that is game number 1.
That's always terrifying, right? When you see somebody coming at you with a ground pound and you have the hammer out and you have to time your recovery. Oh, because I thought you miss it, it's like, oh crap, I'm dead. But if you time it correctly, well then you get this completely beautiful reversal scenario where you're the one who's now edge guarding. You saw the perfect timing come out there from Aerial.
Oh yeah, it's just so many clean plays there during that match. Good clean plays. They are loading in, locking in, ready to go on to game number 2. We did see a map switch out to Twilight here, and a legend swap out to, what is that? Is that a Ragnar from Viper?
Yeah, we have the young Ragnar here ready to hold it down. We're gonna have 2 Ragnars on the screen now, and already we're seeing that Lil Fox is trying to do as much as he can with that rocket lance. Goes to go for the recovery there. That's not going to find the mark. Aerial heading back to the corner now. They're going to take some time here. The target switching is immaculate from the red team.
Oh, big down air onto Viper from Lil Fox, but Lil Fox might not be able to recover. Does get a dodge back up to the wall to get a wall touch, should be good. Recovery into and loses that weapon from Viper. Viper coming up, dodges through, gets caught out by the axe recovery. Did get the wall touch, should be able to get back here. Down air, Viper gets back top, picks up the axe of his own. On the mean side, look at Lil Fox gets a stomp side air. I'm so used to seeing Lil. And does push Aerial quite far out, but Aerial turns it around with the guitar pickup, goes into the recovery, goes to the ground pound. Big recovery from Lil Fox. Not enough to get the KO, but this side air gonna confirm the KO for Lil Fox, and that is first strike in this match.
Viper holding by side of that wedge, gonna come down with that Sarah. The perfect reaction time to get that down air as well. But another reversal. These guys are doing immaculately to stay alive here, trying to capitalize on any scenario that they can. But Zeus, unfortunately, was unable to get that KO because of some help from Viper's teammate there, Aerial.
Weapon throw from Viper. Viper gets a nice neutral air, goes in for a neutral signature, not quite gonna connect onto Zeus. Zeus does get a good hit, goes for the slide and sig. Not quite gonna catch him out, does not get KO'd by Viper's engagement. Aerial also going for a KO here. That double recovery, the second one does do it.
Okay, looking for the side light. Another Viper has just been so immaculate with these follow-ups and reacting to the trajectory. I don't know what he did there. He should be dead. I think he just killed himself for no reason. Yeah, that's cool.
That happens.
But even the best of players, man, the amount of times I do that on the daily when I play this game.
Well, it's one of those things. I think when you're engaged in like a fierce aerial battle with kind of a clunky weapon. Nice weapon throw, by the way, from Aerial to pick up the KO on the left side. When you're engaged in kind of an aerial battle with big weapons like axe, I think it can be a little bit hard to maneuver yourself when there's a lot of hitboxes being thrown out.
Yeah, especially when everything you do is so laggy, right? Like maybe if your guitars or something's a lot easier to kind of manage those jumps, everything's not nearly as committal, but oof. Almost gets the swing right there. Viper gonna throw that axe up.
Ground pound. Triple ground pound.
Oh.
Aerial. Cannot get back
then.
from that.
Have ourselves a match here. Zeus is going to be down a stock, but we do have Viper in the light orange, so this is definitely a winnable match by all means. Zeus just has to play a little bit out of his mind to kind of bring this back, but Viper, we're going to see if he's able to just play calm, consistent, and rack up more damage. There we go. There's the first hit off the weapon throw, and he's looking for more.
Zeus coming over to the left side, being a little careful here. Knows he's on the back foot. Viper throws out the weapon to get the engagement, picks up the axe, gets a nice 3-string, 4-hit string, goes in for a big ground pound, gets caught out, and Zeus picks up the KO.
Yeah, I can't even tell what he did all the way in the magnifying glass there, turned around, but look at that already. Gets the neutral sigs, racking up more damage, tries to go down here into the neutral light, not going to find that as well. There we go, the side light into the neutral light, and he gets the dodge read with the neutral sig. This is pretty much an even game now. You're looking at the damage numbers here. They're both in that orange now. Zeus doing everything he can, racking up more and more damage on the Viper. Viper slowly watching this game fade away, needs to close this out as soon as possible, but Zeus is doing such a good job of making him think about every single choice that he decides to make here. Ooh,
keep in mind that Zeus is holding his own fairly well against Viper. Viper, who was one of the top placements at DreamHack Montreal.
At Montreal, yeah. In the end, was not able to get the complete turnaround, but I mean, considering how far behind he was to start, nothing but respect for my man there. He definitely made that as close as close can get. Brought the damage back very quickly after removing the stock, got the dodge read in record time. Well, I don't know about record time, but yeah, he was putting numbers on the board. You know, he definitely can go back, watch that replay, and not be too upset with how he performed there.
Oh yeah. It was a good set. It was a good match, and for it to go to that final stock there was really interesting. I think there were just some plays there. Again, in the early sets of pools, I think you're more likely to see players experimenting and trying new things and being a little bit of silly, because it's the area where you have a little bit more flexibility, right? You're not going up against the people who are rank 1, rank 2, rank 3 on power rankings. You're going up against people who are trying to break out from anonymity and make their way into that first place, maybe win a little bit of money, maybe win a little bit of bragging rights, you know? And it's those types of moments where you can, and these players do kind of, you know, they meme a little bit, if you will.
Yeah, and that's always when I see Agzo and Hermison coming into this lobby, so that's going to be some fun there. But that's going to be probably like a Jala and a Queen 9 team, maybe. But you know, as you were saying, like once you are part of the old guard, right? You're always going to have these newer players trying to find their way in, and sometimes they just kind of erupt out of nowhere. That's kind of how I felt about Sandstorm. Or Tiffany even. I felt like it was kind of like an overnight thing where I was like, who is this player? And now it's like, you must know those players, right? And there's still people trying to make those names for themselves. So we're going to see how that ends up playing out. But this time around, it looks like we're going to have Blaze and, I don't know how to say this one, man. Is that Luck?
We're going to call him Luke.
Luke.
So we got Luke and Blaze. Both players have been around for a while. Luke has been around for a little while as well.
Okay.
On the other side, though, we do have Agzo and Hermison. Hermison and Agzo, these two team members, they played together in the past. They have good synergy together. They're both strong players as well. The Agzo Bodvar pick is not super surprising. The Ragnar pick from Hermison, also not surprising. Hermison has been playing Ragnar a lot. Hermison is known in part for a Queen 9, but is also very comfortable on the Ragnar and has been shifting over to Ragnar more and more, to the point where I feel like Hermison might be known better for the Ragnar than for the Queen 9. So
it really be like that, man. When your speed stat is that crappy, at some point you get fed up. But
hey, man, you know, it's a deal. You know, you make a deal with the devil when you play Queen 9, right? You lose your speed, but you get crazy damage and crazy defense. That's a good deal in my eyes.
Is it?
IMO, that's a good deal.
Because then you have legends in the game where they sacrifice no speed, but still have like similar damage and health stats. So that's just like,
Ooh.
I don't know. You get someone like Olgrim or something, where you have this high health, high damage. He's not like super slow. He's like average, right? Like that's like pretty good. You get like
He has
Bryn or
2
something,
decks
where-
on this stance, Flambeau. He has 2 decks.
Well, it's because what do you need it for, right? Like, he has.
Well,
you
no,
know,
because
you
dex does make a difference, and at certain levels of dex, you actually
But for
have.
the Rocket Lance though, like you're gonna miss your sidelight Sair maybe.
Yo, that's like the most bread and butter move, though.
It's true. It
It's
is
true.
true. And he will, if he tries to go for like sidelight into jump down air extensions, he might have some trouble linking that as well. But he's valuing that little extra bit of speed there to go ahead. I mean, look at that stat spread though. It's like everything is stacked, but dexterity. But Ogrim doesn't really have. I mean, Axe in general doesn't have a lot in terms of true combos, so it doesn't really need. Like if he gets his sidelight and his Sair, that's not even necessarily guaranteed. So I think he feels okay taking that. Because I imagine most of the time he's going to be on that Axe. We'll see how much Rocket Lance play ends up actually coming out here, but that's my guess.
Here we go. Jumping right on into it. Mammoth Fortress. You see the little smiley face in the background? I do. You will never unsee it now. Coming right off the bat, you see Hermison picking up the Luke Tires. You got Blaze picking up the Axe. Blaze coming around, going around the left side. Hermison trying to find a way to engage onto Blaze. Does get the sidelight, neutral light. Goes in for the down air. Not quite going to connect there, though. Nice side air coming out from Hermison. Going in for the sidelight engagements. Working out most of the time. Even damage spread more or less across the stock number 1.
And there we go. Blaze finding his way in with that Sair. Tries to go for the down air now. Not going to be able to make that connection. Accidentally gets hit by his teammate, but Luke go ahead and gets more. That sidelight nair is, no matter how much dex you have, that combo is going to be pretty free no matter what. So you can go ahead and get that guaranteed damage, start chaining more nairs if he wants to do so as well. And Agzo going to find the coach pitch, if you will, to get that first KO off Blaze.
And that is the classic hammer string right there. It is a great KO option. Lots of damage coming up from Luke as Hermison though turns it around with a big down air, but the side air gonna push Hermison's axe out of his hands and knock Hermison quite far. But Hermison does recover here, comes up above, gets the downlight recovery, goes for a second one, gravity cancel, but not gonna hit as Luke avoids it. Side heavy coming out from Luke. The haymaker does not connect. Meanwhile, Blaze doing some good damage out onto Agzo. Agzo hanging on the right side, goes to the side air. Being underneath that hammer is where you want to be, I think, because that recovery can just basically stop and stall any other move, any kind of ground pound coming up from the opponent. You just see Luke almost got a KO there off the left side with the lance, but Hermison coming back, gets the recovery to touch the wall. You see a KO from Blaze, it looks like, onto Agzo. And now damage is pretty even, stocks are even, with the exception that Blaze is kind of, if Blaze gets knocked down to his final stock, that's going to be a big opening for the blue team to take.
Yeah, and already we're seeing that Blaze he's trying. There we go, the recovery off the top, and then the ground pound from Agzo as well to seal it out. We have exactly what we were talking about. Blaze down to his final stock. Luke fresh out the oven, but they are at a bit of a deficit here. Need to have some immaculate team plays, some synergy, but Agzo is just abusing Blaze off the side here. We need to see Luke run over and toss my man a helping hand if possible. Blaze almost gets this conversion here, but you see Hermison come out the cut and stuff that attempt.
The team doing a great job holding onto their stocks and keeping in here. Luke does do a little bit of team damage. It's not a big deal when you have a little bit of room to grow, but Blaze is on his final stock, is in the red, has not that much more room to grow. The recovery from Agzo hits him, but it does not get the KO. Agzo looking for the KO, goes to the Nair. Nair not going to connect. Recovery drops the last frame, which is the one that actually does the push off the knockback damage. Meanwhile, Luke on the left side knocking Hermison quite far, putting him out of commission. Great back dodge from Hermison. You see Blaze on the right side get knocked out as Hermison confirms the KO on the left side onto Luke. Oh, Blaze didn't get knocked out there.
Yeah, managed to
swap
get
them in
that
my head.
kill with the unarmed down air there, but the Sair from Hermison gonna be able to close that one out. punishing Luke for hitting Agzo every single time Hermanson is privy. Gonna go for the double nair there, won't find the second hit, but he's just getting completely tossed around like some salad. It is not a long matter of time here before we're moving on to game 2. Luke gonna find that ground pound though. All right, so at least he gets one there. If he's able to kill Agzo here, we might have a chance for a reversal, but the Sayer is going to push him off stage, gets caught by the recovery from the hammer, and Agzo's gonna go ahead and close that one out for his boys right there. It's gonna be a 1-0 this far.
It's going to be a 1-0 this far. We do see some legend swaps out here. We've got from Blaze swapping off of that Bryn over to a Mordex with a little bit of extra dex here. And Algrim from Luke is the same stance, and then you have the same legends out from the blue team as well. They are locking in here, going into match number 2. Hermanson and Agzo looking for the win right now. Still on Mammoth.
2, 1.
What happens?
All right. Hermanson manages to grab some guitars. Blaze does have that Mordex we were talking before, so now has a lot of combo potential and gimping opportunity with this new weapon as well. I was watching a video recently from Egg Soup actually talking about how there's this pretty free 56 damage follow-up that you can get off of the scythe, off simply just a side light, and dashing forward and doing either a reverse neutral light or just a standard neutral light, and it'll cover every single dodge option.
Cool. Did not know that. I watched that video.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Great KO there, though, from Hermanson. I don't know if you saw that. That side sig, just bumping Luke off the right side. Blaze goes so deep.
Ooh!
Is it the side of the weapon they're not going to hit? Oh, and there it is. Picks up a beautiful down light ground pound. Gravity canceled. Gorgeous KO right there for the red team.
And you can see Luke being careful. Got that Sayer before, but it's really hard to, oh my goodness, I love the dodge read right there. To want to go for more than just single hits with the rocket lance in teams, unless you are sure that the other member of the team is nowhere in sight, just because a lot of these moves have a lot of startup. You do not want to get stuck. Ooh.
Bomb side air, the coach pitch out from Agzo. Agzo hitting a neutraler, goes to the recovery immediately afterward to try and follow it up, but there's an evasion. Beautiful gravity cancel down sig from Luke. Nearly gets the KO, but Agzo able to survive. He's hanging out in the corner there, but the scythe string out from Blaze will go ahead. That recovery will get it. Or the double KO, actually, onto both members of the red team. Now, this is a little bit of a tricky position to come back, and even though they have the stock lead, damage on that stock lead is not in their favor. So all it takes is Luke. Actually, I was wrong. They don't have the stock lead.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us. But no, the red team's actually doing pretty good for themselves right now. Hermanson and Agzo are at a deficit. Hermanson taking a little bit more damage. Agzo on his final stock already in the yellow. Gonna be able to get that side sig onto Blaze though. Blaze gonna dodge up, gets caught on the way down. Blaze still alive, but his partner cannot say the same. But just look at how Scythe can be so oppressive. Doesn't have the tools there to recover, so he's going to go ahead and actually try to kill himself faster so he can come back from the revival platform and help out his teammate.
And Hermanson and Agzo doing a great job extending this stock, taking the lead back from Blaze and Luke, who had that lead, who had that stock lead. Luke coming around here, looking for the back attack with that axe. Not quite going to get it. Hermanson outspacing him with that side air. Both of them spacing themselves out, waiting it, being patient, looking for the way to engage. Hermanson now getting a great string onto Luke, followed up with a nice conversion over to Agzo. Agzo gets the stomp, goes for the nair out of it, but doesn't hit. Saves the teammate. That Mordex signature had actually caught Luke, and the hammer engagement had denied it. And there's one KO onto Agzo. Agzo's out. Hermanson is out. That is a double KO, and now this is a 2v1 in favor of Blaze and Luke.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, right? Because you have Luke who's in this deep red, so if Hermanson's able to just get a weapon and pretty much tickle him, he will die. And on the other side, you have Blaze, who also has a surmisable amount of damage. He's pretty hurt. He's not completely down for the count, but he cannot take much more. He has his bandages on. He's bruised. So we're going to see if Hermanson's able to do anything about it. But of course, these team combos will lead to so much damage. Already takes so much, but there you go. Tickles him. He's dead now. Hermanson in a 1v1 against Blaze. Blaze definitely going to see if he can hold it down here, but I do not know if he's favored in the 1v1 here. really trying to close it out, but Hermerson's just being so elusive. Speed stat really helps.
It's tough. I mean, the damage is even. One good sig wouldn't KO either of these players. Hermerson getting a little bit more damage with the axe, throws it against Gauntlets, get caught up by the recovery. The ground pound hits out of nowhere. Weapon throw into recovery, unarmed, not gonna hit. Hermerson drops down to pick up the axe, goes for it. That's the weapon that he wants. One good side air could get the KO. Switches it out, no, goes immediately into that signature, not gonna hit though. Hermerson hovering up around, comes around, looking for the engagement with the weapon throw. Goes in, gets the recovery, drilling it up to victory. And that is game 2 in favor of Hermerson and Agzo.
Yeah, it's gonna be probably a little sad for the red team there. Anytime you manage to remove a character from the game, or not a character, but a player rather, I think there's kind of a feeling or an expectation that you should win. Especially, granted, they were pretty hurt already prior to getting the KO on Agzo. But you can't help but feel like, all right, maybe if we had our like team combo a little more down, or the synergy or whatever, that should have been like a win for us. And they definitely racked up a good chunk of damage while they were both still alive. But then the pressure really does get to you when it comes down to that 1v1, and you already have this preconceived notion that you should have won. And then sometimes you crumble, or sometimes, you know, no matter how you spin it, you got outplayed, right? That's
right.
The end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. Everything you said is correct. I was thinking, I was like, he's saying good things. I agree. I agree with the things that he's saying. These things are good.
They're not terribly outlandish. I'll let them pass.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Our next matchup, we're seeing the return of Keiki Mestic. Hake and Addy Mestic up against Fozy and Rain. Again, Fozy and Rain have been around for a long time. Not as long as Addy and Cake, but they've been around. They're names that are familiar to this community that they know. Fozy recently, I think Fozy played in the Friday Night Brawl last night. They're locking in, ready to go right away. They're saying, you know what, casters, we just want to play. Do it.
Yeah, like
I'm good with that.
Same. Don't want to sit here. They're like, we don't want to stay here for another 4 to 5 hours. All right, so we're gonna speed run it and see how it pans out. Brand looks like we do have the core out once again from Addy Mestic, really giving that rock some time to shine and get polished. But Fozy, Rain, the newcomers to the stream for today, but not in general. Gonna see what they're able to do here against one of the greatest teams to ever do it.
I mean, this is a smaller map just as far as these things go, Miami Dome, and it's an interesting choice. It means we're going to see, I expect, a shorter game with a lot of quick KOs here, just because you don't have a lot of control. You can do a lot of team damage if you're not careful. And it's just, these big hitboxes on these big SIGs will do crazy, crazy things.
Yeah, especially with just how little of a base stage there is. You find yourself getting caught by one of core's anything, you're probably going to be dying off the side. And we're going to see an attempt at a gimp here on Addy Mestic.
Nice save, but Addy denies it. Oh, okay. What you saw there, we have to go back and watch that in like super slow motion after this match. But what you saw there was a save, denial, and then down into an attempted save to get a chase dodge and offer an extra jump, which bailed out and didn't work because of the pressure from Addy and Cake. And that's why we saw the double KO there. God, that was crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like a Spanish novella, man. There's so much going on, right? Like
that was
oh my goodness, no way! Ooh, Addy was this close to getting the cutest gift of today, but instead we get a Sayer to the face from Rain. And we're gonna go ahead and have an even game now because of it.
Fozy down low, will get that wall touch. Another ground pound from Addy Mestic and Cake. Nice ground pound from Cake. Cake just helicoptering 2 times in a row, all the way down. Does get 1 KO. Looks like he's gonna try and get that second one. Not quite gonna get it. Another. Cake is just recovering. He's only using recoveries. There. Okay. The side stick does come out. Does get the KO onto Rain, and that's Rain and Fozy both onto their final stocks.
That was. I mean, that's exactly what you're talking about, right? We're gonna have these kind of quick brutal, especially stocks on this stage. And Cake is throwing out, sometimes it almost looks scrubby what we see him do. He'll do like 3 side sticks in a row. We see him, but the thing is, there are situations where doing what looks silly works out. And Teams is definitely one of those game modes where you're allowed to be a little cheeky and get dunked by your teammate.
So unfortunately there, what happened, I think Addy was going for the edge guard, right? Going for that edge guard there. And Cake just accidentally moved into that hitbox, and that was enough to KO Cake. Unfortunately, they still have a lot of stock left. They have a lot of life on the stock, but Addy and Mystic and Cake getting another ground pound. There were so many ground pounds in that match.
Yeah, the spear ground pound too, right? Like, it's weird in the sense that unlike, I think, every other weapon in the game, right? It sends them sideways as opposed to down. But it also does have that added bonus of that ridiculous hitbox. So you trying to get around that on a stage like this one that feels so claustrophobic already, and there's so much going on, that you can get a lot of mileage out of just throwing that move out once, twice, maybe 5 times. And we saw that put to great use.
Yeah, apparently if you're a Cake, you can just, because when you're trying to break out of that, I know this very well, so chat, bear with me, but when you're trying to break out of, that gold into plat barrier, one of the things people will tell you is stop helicoptering to the ground.
3, 2, 1,
But I think when you get to the level that Cake and Addy are at, you can just do whatever you want and make it work. And it's actually something I talked to Daiku about at Montreal, and he was like, yeah, so we used to say that a lot, but it turns out that, it actually does have a pretty big hitbox, and as long as you're smart about it and not, you're not dumb about using it, it's a really good move still. And so you're seeing people use it a lot more now, which it's just cool to see, and cool to see how kind of that narrative around ground pound, speed your ground pound and recovery changes. Now, Small Brawl Haven Flambeau is the same as Miami Dome. It's tiny.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate these small stages. As the lame passive player, this is not where I want to be, but for these guys, they know how to be aggressive and make it work properly without eating carry for 10 years. So they're doing the best they can to make light of that situation. Addy Mestic going to go ahead and find... Wow, okay, that's Cake with the D-Sig now. And this can be a quick lead for the red team. Posey and Rain gonna have to go ahead and try to make the comeback now. Try not to let this lead get too far out of reach. This can be 1 kill. Downlight. Sayer?
Cake will be able to get back from here, avoids the engagement from Posey. Posey does pick up a neutral light onto Addy. Nice downlight recovery from Posey. That Axe is a scary thing for Cake. Cake has so much damage built on him. Clash is going to save him a little bit right there. Posey going into the recovery, does not get the kill on Cake. Cake gets caught up by the down air. That down air bounced him so high on this map. And to have this damage on Small Brawl Haven is crazy, but they reduces the KO from Rain onto Cake. Cake down to 2 stocks. Even in the game pretty significantly, actually, because Addy Mestic is quite low as well.
Yeah, we're seeing... Oh, tries to get another neutral cigarette Ragnar. Rain gonna go ahead and use that chase dodge to go right through. Cake is trying to land that Sayer. Oh!
Rain with a gorgeous Axe. Down air string. Just boom, 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 boom. 3 in a row. Gonna get the KO.
Oh, wow. Okay, and reversal from Addy Mestic. I mean, I guess that's what they call it, right? First time, it's whatever, right? It's a rarity. Second time, it's a coincidence. Third time, it's a trend. And we saw right there 3 down airs in a row. He's now a trending man on Twitter. Got everything that he needed. And they're still going ham with the aggression here. You're down to your final stocks. You would think they'd be playing a little bit more reserved, trying to make sure that they don't fall behind too quickly or have any giant swings. But no, both teams are just taking this entire moment to right at each other's faces. And we're going to see the first one go down in Cake. So now it's Rain and Posey 2v1ing Addy Mestic here. He's already in the orange. Doesn't look good.
That's a tough place to be, especially on Small Brawl Haven. But at the same time, on Small Brawl Haven, you can turn this around. Now, the damage on Rain is almost high enough to be in the KO zone. Just a little bit more damage would do it. But unfortunately, on a small map like this, the team conversions and transitions are so good. Beautiful grab bound gives Adimestic the KO. Can he do it? Can he bring it back? 1v1, one hit. This is basically sudden death at this point. Addy goes for that nair, does not get the nair off onto Rain. The recovery comes out. Rain will survive, throws his weapon, comes around to the right side, gets caught up at the recovery. Adimestic in the sky now, going up against an axe, does not get the recovery follow-up on that sidelight. Weapon throw, picks it back up, throws the weapon throw again, and then the falling side air gets the KO, and Adimestic takes it.
He's freaking ridiculous.
That's a tense place to be. It's so difficult to call what's gonna happen at that point. You really, you cannot take anything for granted, because on a small map like Brawlhaven, it's just, the moment you hesitate, the moment you lose flow state, it's like, boom, done, out.
I'm actually tight for them. I'm actually so obscenely tight for Rain and Posey there. That definitely was their game to lose there. They definitely had the chips in more or less in all the right places, and there were even very small micro interactions that happened in that last little skirmish that we saw between Adimestic, and I forget who the last one alive was. Maybe it was Rain, where it was just the matter of moving his character 1 or 2 pixels over, and he would have won that game. So, I mean, it is what it is. You get how you live. They can go ahead and move on to the winners bracket. It is, I'm sure we'll see those two again later on, if it's not in the loser side of top 8 or just somewhere else.
Oh yeah. We do have locking in right now the return of Viper and Ariel, looking to go up against Simple and Blue team together that we've seen a little while. That's the traditional team, I think, with Blue and Simple. Fans of the Blue crew, this is your chance. You do have a Koji out from Blue. Blue, of course, who was one of those players who made a big name for himself in a explosive fashion, and then kind of faded away, and then came back, and then faded away, and came back, and he's been having a good run at it so far. On the other hand, his teammate Simple, well, is just kind of a solid player. He's one of those players who I think he's not someone Simple is a name. Man, how to describe this? Simple is well known, and when I think of Simple, I'm like, this dude is a stable player, right? That's what I think of. He's a good, stable pro player.
Okay, so he's like a tree.
Yeah, okay. Simple as a tree.
He was planted however many years ago. He sprouted up, had that moment, and then like a good tree, you kind of notice them sometimes you forget about them, but then they hit a point where they either bear fruit or they get too tall, and you can't help but notice them once again. So he's been in and out, he's back, and he plays Jala.
This may be one of our worst metaphors we've ever made, though.
You have to just shoot your shot, right? And that's the thing.
Did you say you had to yeet your shot? Did you say that?
I said shoot, but I mean you can yeet it if you want. I mean,
man, I was like, I don't flambeau.
You deadass sounded like the Pillsbury Doughboy with that last laugh.
I'm learning.
Well, welcome to Brawl to the Future, ladies and gentlemen. This is Flambeau and Toast holding down with the most immaculate commentary you've ever heard. We're gonna have Viper and Ariel versus Blue and Simple for our next match on stream here. We're gonna go ahead and load it up and see how this one plays out.
You bet. Coming in back on Small Brawlhaven. I don't know what it is, but it's since the inception of Small Brawlhaven, it's players either love it or hate it. It's so polarizing. But these players are opening on Small Brawlhaven, maybe trying to make a big statement saying, you know what, if we get a big win on this map, it gives us the momentum, it gives us the player knowledge, and it gives us what we need to go ahead and take the set in a big, clean 2-0. And I think that might be some of the reasoning behind the Brawlhaven pick.
And we've been seeing how these small stages pan out in the long run, right? There's no time to slow down. The engine is throttling the entire time, and we're already seeing that As so far, Blue has eaten quite a bit of damage. Of course, Koji with that low defense is going to see that happen if he's unable to be nimble enough to avoid all the hits. Almost gets taken off the top there, but manages to not jump, to go right through that neutral sig, and now is in a good spot here to try and potentially get a KO.
There's one for Blue coming out. Gonna look good. Viper and Aerial down. One stock in the moment. Blue getting almost a second KO onto Viper, but Viper surviving, staying just below that kill box on top, but that should do it. And now you have a 2-stock lead right now for Simple and Blue. Never mind, it is only a 1-stock lead. And that's what happens on Brawlhaven. The quick exchanges, the quick turnaround.
Yeah, and Aerial with the quick side sig from the guitars. I was able to close that one out pretty quickly. We're going to see Blue's teammate go down in Simple. Just could not hang on a little bit there. But one thing that I do always like to see is when somebody gets caught into a move that has a very long animation, or rather a long animation on hit, like a neutral light from sword or an unarmed neutral light, you're always noticing their partners there to get the punish for their partner being hit, because they have enough time to react and say, hey, I can do something about this.
Oh, Viper low without a weapon. Ground pounds deep. Almost gets caught up by Simple. Simple coming around, goes to the neutral light. Downlight recovery into that sider from Blue. Into nice signature right there. Gonna push everyone out onto that left side. Weapons falling everywhere. Man,
these guys they're skilled. They're skilled brawlers. You know what I mean? They don't need a weapon. And there we go. A punish on the neutral, the jab combo, if you call it, right? The neutral light. And they're gonna go ahead and stab their flags. And almost dies for it, but they have such a hefty stock lead that
I don't
even.
Did you see that it was a weapon throw that confirmed the KO?
Oh, I did not.
It was a weapon throw that sniped at the very last moment, and I think it gave all the momentum that they needed to get that first KO right before the second KO happened. Awesome. That's really cool. Now the turnaround, like you're saying, I mean, it is in the realm of possibility. However, unlikely. I think when you have, a stock lead here against a team like Blue and Simple, I think you have a really, really tough time to come back. And especially when a Viper is in the point where it's like one hit, you're done. It's like playing Dead Cells and you open a curse chest, right? You have to kill 10 enemies before you can get hit normally. Otherwise, you die immediately upon taking damage. That's Viper right now. He's opened that chest. He didn't get anything good from it. Now he just needs to survive and kill 3 stocks. That's one. Gotta move around to the other side. He's turned it into a 2v1, but he's got uphill battle to fight right now.
Yeah, I'd love to be optimistic, but there is no way in hell this is happening. If it does, I will consider myself a liberated man, because we do have the start of something potentially disastrous for the red team here. But I can't see Blue just dropping the ball so hard. Okay, there we go. Side light into a weapon toss. It's going to be the game. But hopefully, game 2 is a little, I don't want to say closer, because I guess by technicality that was a last stock game. But hopefully both partners are able to just kind of be alive longer together, so that they can kind of extend the benefits of having a teammate for as long as possible there.
Oh yeah, but that's, oh my goodness, I'm still thinking about it. That was kind of a crazy. It was not only a long match, right, but a lot of damage was dealt out. Blue did 694 damage. Viper did 581. Yeah. Like, the damage dealt was high, especially on a map that is traditionally so quick for KOs, where you can KO on orange,
Yeah, you would think the numbers would be lower just for the sake of the fact that people should have been dying quicker. And you have Koji and Jala, who by no means are legends that should be surviving a long time. But somehow Simple and Blue find a way to make it work. And go ahead and watch Aerial grab those guitars now.
Yeah. Coming in on the small Miami Dome, we do have fight off the bat, as you would expect out of a Brawlhalla match. Down air gonna get dodged out. Aerial coming in with a nice recovery onto Simple. Simple coming around. Aerial turns it around, goes to that side, so he gets punched by the sider. Going down air coming out, but not gonna connect. And there's a nice KO. Ragnar gonna get that first KO onto Simple's Jala. Jala, a low defense legend, of course. Viper trying to carry Blue up top off the map, but not enough to get the KO. Blue comes down to the left side, gonna pair off against Aerial, but there's the coach push coming up from Aerial, nearly getting the KO onto Blue, confirming the KO onto Blue. Blue won't actually be able to get back from that. And this early 2-stock lead is very similar to what we saw from last game.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a Gimp coming out from Simple. Manages to find that one, so now if they're able to kill off Aerial, they'll be able to put themselves back in good footing here for the rest of the match. See sidelights coming up from Simple, trying to hold that corner, looking to see if he can get that opportunity. Blue carrying Aerial off to the top of the screen as Simple tries to interact with Viper on the right side of the stage, and beautiful side sig as well. Red team is fighting back very hard.
There it is, the down sig out from Simple, gonna get the kill onto Aerial, brings in 2 stocks all the way here.
Woo!
Simple carrying Viper off the left side. Viper goes for the recovery, dodges up through the ground pound, risky move, but does survive, does get the wall touch, ground pounded there. May be able to get back, should be able to get the wall touch, gets down there nearly. Aerial recovers, throws it with the guitars. Viper back up top, goes into the recovery, tries to get the conversion there, maybe save his teammate from that, but the recovery on that hammer with the weapon throw is enough to get the KO onto Jala, onto Simple. Simple down to his final stock right now as Viper and Aerial fighting tooth and nail to bring this back to a game 3 right now.
Yeah, they're so close. If they can get this kill on Viper here, they'll be in pretty much even footing here. They're not far behind by any means. There we go. That's exactly what I was talking about. We're gonna get the D-Light recovery off the top, be able to KO Viper as I mentioned prior, and now they're sitting in a pretty good spot to get this. Oh my goodness!
Nice.
The amount of times I've seen Simple get that conversion off of the handoff from Blue has at least been 2 or 3 times already this game.
Viper! You see Viper, 2 unarmed hits, 1 off of a chase dodge, just on that left side underneath to do so much damage, and just a little bit of just style play right there. Beautifully done in the air, and I think that one of those chase dodges was necessary for him to get back there. Simple. Trying to get in here. Recovery out from Aerial does take out Blue to his final stock. This is just like last match. It's super close. That down air, that scoop from Aerial. He is looking for some ice cream. It's not going to work out for him. That side air pushes Simple way out to the right side. Simple does get back to the wall. He will come back up top.
Oh, yeah, you see right there the coverage coming out from Viper. Simple did everything he could there to try to avoid getting hit by Aerial, but the moment he jumps up, Viper's there. Oh!
Drop the ground pounds.
Oh!
Scoop. This is tight.
Oh no.
Air coming out. Aerial gets the scoop. No ice cream for Aerial yet, though.
Yeah, and
Weapon
this
throws
is
all
rough.
Blue's movement, though,
Blue?
is on point. Cycling around the enemy, but that recovery is going to do it. And Viper and Aerial not only taking the game, but taunting as well. They're bowing at the end, saying, you know what? We can bring it back. We can bring it back.
Yeah, this probably is the closest set we've seen today. I mean, this is probably the only 1-1, right? I don't know if we've seen another set go to game 3 off memory. But hey, I'm with it. Blue on his second stock in that last game, he was living the Koji dream. He was living in like super dark red on Miami Dome of all stages. Was really doing his absolute best to try and tank.
Do Koji's dream of being like super dark red?
Yeah, they do. That's even probably why they're.
Lambo, have you ever
team.
seen Back to the Future?
Yeah, I've seen every single one. It's been a while. Like if you reference something, I may or may not.
I'm not going to make any references. The reason I ask is because I have not seen any of them.
Are you like for real or?
I'm dead honest. Or yeah, I'm for real.
How is that even possible? And that's like someone saying they've never seen a Star Wars movie. Like,
Oh, I know people who have never seen Star Wars.
3, 2,
not even one.
No. I know people who have never seen a single Star Wars movie, and they're proud of it at this point. Crazy. They're not my friends anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like someone you should dead immediately.
This is a big change, though. This map. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, it's
Go for it.
a lot larger.
Yes.
One, which means that people can space themselves out a little bit more, especially since you have those side platforms as well. If they want to kind of divulge into their own 1v1s, they can do that. There we go, the side light into down light to neutral air combo coming out from blue, kind of like a bow bread and butter that's pretty free if you don't have a dodge ready. We see the gimp on Viper. No, in
Viper
fact,
turns
he
through.
gets reversal.
That was great. Viper was very conservative with his motion, with his jumps, and that allowed him to get there and get that turnaround for that KO to keep things exactly even, dead even, about as even as it could be.
Go.
Nice weapon
Taking
pickup.
their time. And we've seen blue kind of try to go for these quick side sigs with Koji. Hasn't quite found one as of late, but he's still looking. The weapons are going to come out from Aerial to try to get back on the stage, but blue is doing a great job of gatekeeping him.
That KO, gonna put the lead
Simple
right now
on
for
side.
blue and Simple. Aerial out here on the left side, you see Viper come in to give Aerial a little bit of cover so he can come back here and recover onto this platform. And this match is a little bit slower, and that's a factor of it being on a larger map. You see more division into that 1v1 rather than a kind of a 2v2 free-for-all brawl out type of experience. Simple does get knocked out there on the left side by that side air from Viper. Aerial moving in underneath blue. Blue's bow has been on point so far. Lots of down signatures, really placing them perfectly to catch a lot of ledge guards and a lot of recoveries as well.
Blue, perfect dodge. Gonna get another down signature. Gonna kill from the opposite side of the screen. You can go ahead and chase down Viper with the D-Light as well. This bow is doing wonders for the red team right now. They cannot figure out how to touch this man. There we go, finally a side light into an attempted ground pound coming out from Viper, but blue still just absolutely commanding the battlefield.
It's that bow there's no answer to the bow yet from blue, and blue has just been so on point with it. Viper here on 2 stocks, surviving, hanging back, gets caught up by the downer from blue. Blue gets caught up by the side air from his teammate, moves up, has no bow now, moves in against a hammer. Is kind of a scary place to be. Stomp gonna hit his teammate Aerial coming around. Nice side air from Simple, gonna get the KO onto Viper. Yes, onto Viper. As Viper comes back here, trying to turn this around, but Aerial's on his back foot on his final stock. If Aerial gets knocked out, that's going to be real tough for the blue team.
Okay, we see they both try to get the punish there and end up interfering with each other's punishes, but they still manage to rack up damage, so that's going to be fine for blue and Simple. There we go. We're going to see the once again the coach pitch. Gonna go ahead and seal out yet another stock today as Aerial's looking to finish off a kill here. This is once again another close game, which is to be expected just based off what we've seen thus far.
Oh,
Aerial, oof! Oh wait, he can't make it back. Oh wait.
What is happening? Aerial didn't have enough movement on the chase dodge, and then there was just a strange SD there. Like what? Okay.
Yeah, so now, oh my god, how did he not get hit by the tail end of that recovery? Nobody knows. Blue actually gonna go ahead, go to the sword now. Does have a decent chunk of damage racked up on Viper. I don't think a D-Light recovery will quite kill yet. Probably needs maybe one more hit. Right back to the bow, looking for that down six. Switch to the sword, goes for the Sayer.
Down air coming up from blue. Blue up on that ledge, moves through, has the sword. Looking for the edge guard, has Viper in the KO zone. It's all what it takes right here. Viper very careful with his movement, does bait out the Nair, tries to get a weapon pickup, does pick up the guitars, hangs here on the right side, throws the move right away, no weapon on the ground. Viper goes for the haymaker, gets caught out, and that is game with the downlight recovery. And Simple and Blue will advance in the bracket.
I mean, just look at the damage done, right? You can see how much that bow from Blue really paid. I don't even know if it paid. It robbed even 805 damage. And you look at the damage numbers across the board for everyone else: 400 on Aerial, 550 on Viper, 374 from his own teammate. You can see that he really racked up the damage. And now, granted, Simple playing Jala did mean that they were able to find a lot of KOs, because even if he wasn't necessarily racking up the damage, when he did find those hits, he had some already tattered opponents who would fall prey to one of Jala's many varying strong hits. But we move on.
Yes. We do have in our next set, I'm actually very excited for this. We have, recently sponsored by Triumph, from the Innovation Clan, Stikia and Daz. Let's go. I like these guys. They're going for the double Bovar. I met them in Valencia. Both of them are really cool, chill people. On the flip side, we've got Ninja 729 teamed up with Pavelski, rocking Ada and Cross respectively.
Okay, Cross is kind of a little bit of an odd one. Ada, I've seen Boomy go on and on and on about how he believes her to be the best legend in the game. Thinks that guns are ridiculous right now, and the combination of guns and spear with Ada's phenomenal SIGs are what really put her over the top. Now, granted, that is up for speculation. That is by no means a fact. Just an opinion of one of the better players of the game. But I mean, he was able to prove it, right, with his victories, if you will. So we're going to see if the Ninja 729 is going to be able to put Ada to the same effect that we've seen Boomy do. Whereas Pavelski on Cross
has a level
I'm curious.
100 Cross. So if we're just talking about raw hours here, can we talk for a moment about the 3 level 100 legends here?
Yeah.
For reference, I think to get a character to level 100, you're probably looking at over 500 hours of play, maybe?
On that character alone.
On that one legend, right? That's wild. I mean, you're looking at 2 level 100 Bodvars. And then level 100 Cross. I mean, it doesn't say anything about skill, but it kind of does in you know, it's one of those things where it's like it doesn't show skill. You can have a level 100 and be a scrub.
Right.
But as far as like time and dedication go, it shows a lot.
3, 2, 1.
At the very least, if you're level 100, you have the expectation that you know how to delight there, and you know there's certain kind of assumptions you can make about someone having a certain amount of experience that usually can hold true. Doesn't necessarily, it's not a one-to-one conversion. You know, playing more does not necessarily mean you will be better, but in the same vein, it also does. There's so much that experience provides. Goodbye.
That whole time, it was Daz was just playing with his food on the left side against Ninja with a hammer. He was just going in, and that recovery finally did, and there was no recovery there. It was a battle of attrition when it comes down to how many jumps you have, and they won. That was crazy.
Delight there. Gonna get the neutral light coming out from that as well. The recovery gonna kill off the top. Pavelski managing to find that one with relative ease, and we're gonna watch as the Ninja goes off stage, tries to get some extended. Oh my goodness, Pavelski is just, oh my god, the blue team's just kind of going off right now. Yikes.
They have the double gun. They took an early stock, right? They lost a couple of early stocks, and now they're like they've calibrated and they learned. Except for that point where Daz gets a great coach pitch, knocking Pavelski all the way off, losing his first stock, and now 2 stocks across the board.
Spacing is coming out perfectly here, especially to use blasts correctly. Need to know when to downlight, when to neutral light, when to side light. They just need to know spacing perfectly. Perfect handoff right there as well. The recovery from the gauntlets not quite enough, with the awareness all there.
Daz ground pounded through that signature too. Oh, there's the KO onto Daz. Daz onto his final stock. This is a little bit of a tough position to be in right now for Stikia and Daz, as they are on the back foot. Stikia is about to lose a stock from his teammate, no less. Unfortunate, and now they're down 2 stocks.
There we go. Pavelski gonna grab those guns. Going for those neutral layers. Hits his teammate a little bit. Not a big deal though. Gonna come down. Tries to get the side light. Won't find that either. And there we go. They both have a little bit of damage going on both sides. Red team manages to get a reversal. D-Sig coming out from Daz. Won't find that as well. That's gonna be 1 going off the side there. That was I don't.
Not sure what
interesting.
happened.
Yeah.
But 2v1 up against Stickia right now. You do see Stickia getting a nice recovery in onto Ninja. Coming around the right side, coming down, using the space and the large spaces on the map here to his advantage. Great nair. Gonna go ahead and pick up the KO onto Pavelski. This is still a huge place to come back from. Stickia playing carefully could do it, but there's the gravity cancel. Neutral heavy does pick up the KO, which gives the first win to Ninja 729 and Pavelski. I think we're gonna see a legend swap here.
Yeah, then we already see a Bryn from Daz. Whether or not he's gonna stick with it is to be seen. This Bryn, not level 100, level 46, so still a good amount of hours invested into this legend. Yeah, now we just gotta wait for a Pavelski, and there we go. Stick is back.
Stickia here is gonna stick with Bolvar. I don't think you're gonna see Stickia on other legends too often.
There we go. Yeah, it looks like I think he will be sticking with that Bryn pick, which is not a bad pick at all. You can go ahead and strike out the stages. Not going to Mammoth. Don't believe it'll be Thunderguards. Probably Twilight or Small Brawl Haven. They could prove me wrong though. But they will not. Instead, they will prove me correct. We are going to Twilight Grove. Gave myself a 66% chance there of being right. So
Yeah, that's all comes down to the wedge, right? And that wedge. Come in here, onto the snow, onto Twilight Grove. Weapon pickups. You got the spear out from Ninja. You got axe out from Daz. That axe and spear pickup from the Bryn choice for the red team is huge. It's a huge advantage. Not advantage, but change of pace as far as range of weapon goes and speed of weapon goes and just general utility.
And especially with the range that Bryn has on it as well, covers like half screen with that side stick alone after a dash. The base force is OD. You know, it's hard to survive when hit by that one in comparison to a lot of other side sticks where you'll be in like orange and be like, all right, I'll survive. For Bryn, she flips the script on that quite a bit.
Oh yeah. As going in for the pogo. Gets a huge spin cycle on the bottom there. Gets the kill into Pavelski. Almost called him Pavlov. Different people entirely. But it is enough to take an early lead here.
There we go. All right, can throw him down into the Sair. Stickia gonna be able to pick up that one as well. They're trying to get a team combo on onto Pav, if you will, Pavelski, but kind of beef the execution a little bit.
Good engagement on that axe from Daz. Does build up the damage to Pavelski here, hanging out, looking for the engagement.
Yeah, I know.
It's tough now. It's tough. Downlight recovery onto Pav is gonna push him up top. Pavelski coming down though, goes in for the downers. They love this double blaster from Ninja and Pavelski, and it's been effective for them in that first game. I don't know. I think Daz and Stickia may have figured out the way to play against it and have calibrated to it. Goes in for the Bear Claw. Bear Claw not quite gonna hit. Nice KO there. 1, 2, and that is 2 KOs. And Daz and Stickia taking a further lead in this game.
Yeah, it is looking tragic for Pavelski. And his teammate, they just do not have a lot of resources to work with at this point. Now, granted, they are on Twilight. They're going to be able to find a KO there with the side stick coming up from Pavelski. A Ninja now going to go ahead and try to extend that. It's going to be another kill. So they're looking a little bit better now. But Daz is still sitting really healthy with those 2 stocks. If they're able to kill off Stickia, then they can find themselves in a scenario where they have a 2v1 against Daz. Oh my goodness. Boom,
that's what you're talking about, except the other way around. As a 2v1 against the Ninja 729. And I think this is pretty solidly in Stickia and Daz's court. I mean, they're gonna hang out here on the left side. You know, the signature comes out, the ground pound comes out. Or the utility between axe and hammer here, and the conversions between this team play exactly there, right? Set up, spike. That's exactly what happens. It's volleyball. I think it might be too much. Oh, nice dodge through, avoids the signature. I don't even know how that didn't hit. That's crazy.
I'm saying, dude.
Must have been like the last like frame and a half of his immunity. And there's the side air. And Sticky and Daz gonna take game number 2. And you know, we'll see if they take game number 3, because this is going to a 3rd game.
Yeah, that game 2 is pretty convincing. Twilight Grove, the exact kind of pick I guess that they needed to really turn things around there. It was looking very, very rough for Pavelski and the Ninja toward the tail end, but we're gonna go ahead and see how it all pans out. You know, it's definitely one of those matches where you're watching it and I don't even feel like, even though they won that last game fairly convincingly, I'm watching it and I don't feel particularly inclined to believe that one team is excelling much more than the other.
Yeah. They're really pretty close. I think when Daz and Sticky get the momentum, you know, they can ride it and they can carry it to a victory. But Pavelski and the Ninja, they just have a really good aggressive style between the two of them, and they level up and they turn it on when they need to win and to get these KOs and turn it around. It comes down, I think, to the first few stocks. Whoever gets the first 2 stock lead is gonna take the game. I think that momentum is gonna be the deciding factor. And right now, with these signatures out from Stickia, it could potentially be the red team.
We've seen twice now Pav trying to get that KO by responding with a gun recovery. Instead, will find himself dying to the stomp Sayer from Stickia. And wow, that down air actually going to kill as well. So it's going to be 2 kills for the red team. Pavelski can go ahead and try to get this Gimp here with the gauntlets. Won't find much though. Only gets 1 neutral air. Throwing him down now, trying to get the extended punish. It's a good amount of damage.
Recovery out from Ninja, gonna try and do some damage. You see the down air pick up. Nice nair out from Pavelski. Pavelski spot dodges through that neutral light out from the spear. Side light coming out, gets caught up by the signature. A little bit of damage right there. Weapon throw. Pavelski getting a great ground pound to even up the stocks here. 2 stocks across the board. Daz down low in the KO zone, in the red. Comes back up top, looking for the weapon. Pavelski steals it from him, goes for the down light, goes for the down air. Not quite gonna connect.